Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today is going to be spend the week with me, a little vlog. I no longer have speech to, take up all my brain power, so now I'm ready to kind of get back to a regular filming schedule, whatever that ends up looking like. This week I have nothing to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I have the speech banquet on Thursday, which is, the celebration of our season. And I'm really excited for that, but I don't know what I'm going to do tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. So I figured, why not film a little vlog? I just finished filming a book haul, so if that's out, go watch it. So I'm just like, I have books all around me, but I do have one goal for this week, amongst other goals. I have other goals as well, but my main goal is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I need to finish this by Thursday. My mom and my sister both really want to read this book, so I want to finish it so that I can give it to my mom on Thursday when I see her, and then her and my sister can read it and then it can come back to me. So yeah, I am currently on page 44. I'm just trying to figure out like what I want to do with my time. I am so exhausted. We had sections last Thursday and that was so long. I mean, we got back to the school at like 11. I was so tired on Friday, and then me and my boyfriend obviously hung out all weekend, which was really, really nice, and I miss him. He is a coach at the school he teaches at, so, it's their season for what he's doing, and so I won't be able to see him. We aren't long distance, but, 40 minutes and then tack on traffic, it's not ideal. So we're just like, well, this week we're just gonna have to only see each other on the weekend. I also have a concert this weekend. I'm going to see Knox. I'm so excited. He's performing on Sunday and it's going to be so much fun. I am making a sweater for his concert. So his album that he's like touring with right now is called Going, Going, Gone, and it's this light blue color with like white papers all around, like paper airplanes and all this stuff. So I thought this would be so cute. Oh my gosh, it looks great on camera. It's a little big, but I was kind of going for like a big kind of slouchy look. So right now, gosh, I'm almost done with the body, I would say. And so I'm going to finish this and wear it this weekend, probably with like, I'm thinking white sneakers, black skirt, and then like a black tank top underneath it. And I'm using Big Twist Aqua and Big Twist Mint, RIP to Joann's, and my grandma gave me these. I would not have bought these colors on my own. I think she was making a baby blanket for someone, and she bought so much of it that I did actually make a baby blanket for a friend who's, with child. And then I had all this leftovers and I was like, oh, that'd be really good for the concert that I'm going to. So, I have to finish that by Sunday, but then I also have to finish Sunrise on the Reaping by Thursday. But my friend said that it went really, really fast for her. Like, she read it in like 2 days. So I imagine that it will go, the first 40 pages have gone by pretty fast for me. And it's only like 350 pages. It's much shorter than Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I'm confident in myself that I can like finish it in a timely manner. I'm also reading so many other books as well. I don't know what's going on with me. It's like I'm in this, not a reading slump by any means, but I want to read like everything, and I also feel like my brain isn't working. Like my brain has not worked for like the past 4 days. When I try to speak, I feel like I'm not saying anything. I feel like I'm not able to like convey what I'm trying to say. It's very frustrating, honestly. I'm not having a good time. So other books that I'm reading are Word Slut by Amanda Montell. Word Slut is A Feminist Guide to Taking Back the English Language. A People's History of the United States, 1492 to Present by Howard Zinn. I might DNF this. I just started it yesterday. This is Aragon by Christopher Paolini. My mom wanted to buy a copy of this from Half Price Books, and I was like, no, I have a copy of it. You can borrow it. And she was like, oh, do you know where it is? And I was like, yeah, I do. And then I found a digital copy from my library that I could just like check out so I could read it before bed, like I did with The Martian. And so I was like, oh, let me just do that. And then I started reading it, and I was like, ooh, this might not be for me. Because I just got this from Goodwill, so it was like $1.50. And then I'm listening to the audiobook for Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Also listening to The Divine Comedy by Dante Alighieri. And it's also available for free on Fable, probably because the book is public domain because it's so old. So I started reading that, and I have the audiobook as well. And then I'm also reading Stitches, which is not by Junji Ito, but it says it's by Junji Ito. It's by Hirokatsu Kihara. So Hirokatsu Kihara wrote the short stories, and then Junji Ito did the illustrations for the short stories. And that one's only like 115 pages, and I can only read it like on my thing. So this is like the start of the third one. So you can see like the illustrations. So that's what Junji Ito did for that book. He did not write that book, even though he writes like other books, right? I've kind of like dug myself into a hole here. I need to read and read and read and read. And it is April 14th today. Oh, R.I.P. the Titanic. That's the dumbest thing I've ever said. Okay, anyway, I want to read as much of these books as possible, and I think I'm at like 7 books for April. Yeah, I'm at 7 books for April so far. And like, it really doesn't matter how many books I read in a month, but I don't know. I mean, the lowest month I had was January, and that was at 9 books. And I'm like, if I could at least aim for like 10, but it's also, I'm at 7 and it's only April 14th, so I'm fine. But yeah, so come hang out with me. I'm gonna be crocheting, I'm gonna be reading. I'm having a tough time. You know, this is only the first week out of practices. So our practices were normally from 6 to 8 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so now I, you know, don't have to prep on Mondays and Wednesdays for these things. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I will talk to you guys later. Hi, it's Tuesday, and today's going a lot better than yesterday. I was so tired. I got ready for bed and crawled into bed, I think at like 7:45 last night, and I slept from 8:30 until my alarm went off at 6:30 this morning. So clearly, I needed a good sleep. Today's been going pretty well. I did my dishes and I washed my makeup brushes. Both things have been needing to be done. Last night I finished one sleeve of the sweater, and so I'm on the second sleeve. I do think I will finish this tonight. And then I also finished 3 more tulip hats. These are technically, I think, called lily hats, but so these are presents for my students. We have the banquet on Thursday, so I finished 3 of those, and I have 3 left, 2 of which are for me and my assistant coach, so 1 for me, 1 for her. And then I also finished up category bracelets for my students, so they just say like duo, or like PO stands for poetry, or like info. So I just finished those, and those are like end of season gifts, and I'm really excited to give those to them. In I think around 30 minutes I'm gonna go for a walk outside, and I'm wearing like bike shorts and just a t-shirt, and I'm just gonna walk in that because I wore a sweatshirt and long like yoga pants on Sunday when it was about the same, and I was so hot. I was so warm. So if I'm gonna be out and walking around, I'm going to wear a bit less clothing because I can't regulate my body temperature. I also really need to go grocery shopping tonight, which I don't want to do, but oh my god, I am so out of food. I've been using protein powder and like mixing it with water and then using that as like milk, which maybe sounds kind of gross, but here we are. I am on page 124 of Sunrise on the Reaping. My plan is to get to page like 220 by tonight. I do think I can do that. I'm actually going through it really fast already. I also need to make leaves. I need to make 15 leaves for the lily hats. So each hat has 5 leaves on it. So all of them have the stems on there, but I need to make the leaves. I want to edit one more video. So I'm just, you know, getting a bunch of stuff done today, and I'm really proud of myself. I can't believe I got these done. I was kind of worried that I was going to wait until the last minute to get them done. I was thinking too, I'm going to see Knox on Sunday. I was thinking that's what the sweater is for. I was thinking maybe I could make some bracelets as well, because in a lot of his Instagram photos, he like is wearing like bracelets and stuff. So that might be kind of cool. I also got to 53% in Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I do think that I will finish that by the end of the week. It's getting really good. The first 50%, I will say, a little bit slow. But if you are interested in like getting into classics, this is also the book that Taylor Swift claims is her inspiration for the song Tolerate It off of Evermore. And I am like listening to this book and I'm like, wow, this is how I felt in some relationships with some of my exes. The way that, you know, our main character just isn't cared for, and how it's like, yeah, it seems fine, but really it's the relationship is just kind of nothing. Like, go on queen, go on king, give us nothing, you know. But it's very good, and I'm excited to kind of see where it goes and to see more of those gothic elements towards the end. I'm excited to go on a walk. It looks like it's kind of windy today. I don't know, I need to get my body moving in some form or fashion. I kind of took the last 2 weeks off of working out because I was getting everything ready for sections. It was just like this sprint. So it was like the kids had their spring break. We had 1 week of practices, and then it was sections. And it was just a lot of work for me, my assistant coach, the kids. And I think a lot of that heaviness is what I was feeling yesterday. But now that I'm not feeling it, I'm like, okay, let me get these projects done. Let me, you know, I finally took out, I've got a granny square star blanket that will be for myself. I think I'm going to use it as like kind of a picnic blanket, or at least that's how I envision in my head. I had originally started one of the Betty McKnit like 6-day star blankets, and the pattern just wasn't for me. Clearly there was some disconnect between my brain and like my comprehension of the pattern. And then I found this granny square or granny cluster star blanket, and I was like, ooh, that one's for me. And so I am almost done with one of the skeins, and then I finally frogged that and also the original skein. So like this was how much the blanket was that I had already done, and then this was the ball of yarn, and it was so tangled. So I finally got that done, and honestly I'm really happy because it was kind of stressing me out just thinking about like, oh, I have to do that, oh my god, I don't want to. It really wasn't so bad. Yeah, I think that is everything I have for you guys right now, so I will check in with you later. So, hi baby. I want to read you this quote really quick. I'm on page 100, so this is on page 153. This is Sunrise on the Reaping. A small, pained cry escapes the girl's lips as she crouches over the bits. The sunflower mattered, I think, even more than being her last handful of home. I bet someone close to her made it. Her ma or pa, her sister or brother, someone she loves. They made it to protect her and remind her how precious she is, to give her something to hold on to at the end, if the unthinkable happened and her name got called at the reaping. And now it's chunks of salt flour dough dabbed with yellow paint. The other tributes from 9 gather around her, viewing the wreckage as silent tears roll down her cheeks. This happens during their training before they go into the arena. You know how the career pack are always like intimidating the people in some way. I will say this is some of the best writing that I've read. I mean, out of all of the books, it's just so good. I don't know, there have been other passages too where I'm just like, wow. Okay, so I'm almost at the page number that I wanted to get to tonight. My plan was at least 220. I'm on 210, 211 right now. And I just like have to say something. I hate when other novels come out and they have some sort of death games and everyone's like, oh, it's Hunger Game-esque. It's so much like the Hunger Games without truly understanding what that means. It just makes me think, like, have you read any of these books and how heavy they are? And the thing is that, like, you know, you read your death game books, but your character is going to be fine. And the stakes don't feel as high in these other books, which is sad. I also kind of hate the thought that everything has to be related to the Hunger Games because it's seen as like objectively good in a way of like, oh, these other fantasy novels can't stand on their own. And I don't like that either, because like, what do those other death games stand for? And I feel like nobody is thinking critically enough about that. To liken it to the Hunger Games kind of cheapens the legacy that I think the Hunger Games truly leaves on like the literary landscape. Maybe I didn't say that as succinctly as I would have liked, but I do truly think that. I don't like the thought of, you know, everything is Hunger Games adjacent, because, you know, then every book would have the literary acclaim that the Hunger Games series has, and every book would have the same amount of like lead up and want for these. I think the thing that separates Suzanne Collins' writings from some of these other ones is that she has something very direct that she wants to say, and she kind of says that as a sort of thesis statement. I would have to go back into the Hunger Games books and look into this, but in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and then this one, Sunrise on the Reaping, we have quotes that help give us an idea of what the book is going to be about. For example, the first one is, all propaganda is lies, even when one is telling the truth. I don't think this matters so long as one knows what one is doing and why. That was by George Orwell. And then the second one is, a truth that's told with bad intent beats all the lies you can invent. That's by William Blake. And then there's 2 more. I'm not going to read all of them, but like, these kind of show what the book is going to be about. Whereas I think too, this could come off as me like kind of shit talking the romantasy genre, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I just think that romantasy exists in like a completely different sphere. You know, like, this is a YA dystopian, and sure, dystopian is a subsect of fantasy, but a fantasy novel, a romantasy novel, does not operate the way that this book does, right? It's not the same. And I think that they both serve very different purposes. That's my rant. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm getting tired. I was supposed to go grocery shopping today. I could not. I went for a walk, and then afterwards I had no energy to do anything. So that's what I get for working out, I guess. No, I have leftovers and I have food and everything for tomorrow, so I should be fine. It's just interesting what you do when you don't have any food in your house. Okay, I'm going to eat this, and it's going to be a little weird, but here we are. Hi everyone, it is Wednesday, which means the banquet is tomorrow. I have 2 hats left to finish up on. All the leaves are made, and I'm on page 220 of Sunrise on the Reaping, and I am pretty confident that I can finish this tonight. So there's that. And then I also wanted to just kind of go through what I got for my boyfriend for Easter. We were talking last night and I was like, oh, do we want to exchange Easter baskets? And he was like, yeah, sure. I was like, okay, cool. And I had originally wanted to get him, he's been reading the Berserk mangas, and he bought the special editions for him and stuff. And so I went to Barnes & Noble today. They did not have the 4th one, which kind of made me sad because I was really hoping to get that for him. I couldn't get him that book, so I had to kind of figure something else out. So I think I'm gonna make him a few bracelets, because I gave him, he left it here, but I gave him this Pura Vida bracelet that I had on St. Patrick's Day, because he wasn't wearing any green. So I was wearing this and I gave it to him because I don't wear this too often anymore, but he always takes it off and then accidentally leaves it here, but then when he comes back he puts it on and then he remembers to take it. So I was thinking about making him a few bracelets, maybe one that has my name on it or my initial, something like that. I thought of that, and then I also was like, okay, what else could I do? So we have our pet names for each other. He calls me his trout and I call him my bass, because he was trying to say that I'm a catch, so he called me a 22-inch trout when we first started dating, and so now it's I'm his trout and he's my bass. And so I found this crochet pattern that is a can koozie, and it's a largemouth bass, so I thought that would be kind of cool. The pattern does use acrylic. I'm not going to use acrylic. I'm going to be using cotton. I have just a little bit of this left. These are the same. I love this cotton, 100% cotton from Hobby Lobby. And this is the colorway Sage, so I thought that might be kind of just a fun little thing to put in the basket. Well, I grabbed this bag. This is leftover from Christmas, and so I went to Walmart and got some stuff for him. So first thing I got him were these fudge mint cookies, because he really likes them. And then other candies, I got the Starburst jelly beans, the Jolly Rancher jelly beans, and the Skittles jelly beans. So, stocked up on jelly beans. And then I also got him some Sharpie S-Gel pens, because he said that they were his favorite. They're my favorite too. So, yeah, so I got him these. And then I also got him some Burt's Bees chapstick. He always has some on him, and he leaves his at my place a lot. But he had this pomegranate one. I was like, oh, maybe he likes the different flavors. So this one has tropical pineapple, coconut and pear, dragon fruit lemon, and berry agua fresca. So it'll be all that, some bracelets, and then this trout koozie, which I think will be really fun for whenever we go camping, because his family really likes to go camping. So I think I'm gonna get started on this koozie. I swear, I'm always messing stuff up. She's done. We just gotta make some eyeballs. I sewed the dorsal fin on, but yeah, they're a little lopsided. But you know what? It's like in Finding Nemo. He's just got his little gimpy fin. So now we just gotta make some eyeballs. I thought I did it right. You know what? It's fine. he's gonna love it no matter what, because it's, you know, you're only gonna see it from the side anyway. It is, I mean, it fits a can. It is cool. It's a little fucked up, but it's cool. So I have just a tiny bit of black here and a lot of white, which I don't need a lot of white. Okay, she's not great, but she's done. This side looks so much better. Look at him. My bass is gonna love it. God, these eyes are dopey. You know, I wish I had like a proper craft room where I just like could have all my stuff and just hold, like have glue and just like a bunch of random stuff in there. I mean, granted, I do have a lot of random craft supplies, but I wish that I want a house. Oh my God, my number one goal in this life right now. I want a house. Oh my God, I'm like really proud of this. I've never made a koozie before, if you can believe that. I tried making one time off of a free pattern and oh my God, I messed it up so bad. No! Oh my God, he's so cute. No way. Hell yeah. Okay, so that's going in his Easter basket. I think it's time to make dinner. I know that it's like 6 p.m. or something. It's sometime. The sun, I mean, I love having more hours of daylight, but I have west facing windows, so sunset is like 1,000,000 hours long. And I don't love that. It's finally starting to cool down a little bit, but it just like cooks my apartment for like multiple hours in the afternoon, which is like not fun for me.
Trying to forget about all the times we were dancing on the ceiling, and now you knew as somebody else walking around with your new man, looking like me on my brand. I'm not trying to discount the man, whatever you find great value in.
Okay, hi. It's been about a week since I have filmed for this vlog, so this is just going to be a little bit of a catch up and the outro. So I did in fact finish Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I gave it it was either 4.5 or 4.75 stars. So good. It didn't make me sob like I thought it would. A lot of people I know that have been reading it are like, oh my God, be next to tissues. And like, it's very sad and it's very graphic. But maybe I was just like too prepared. Maybe that's what it was, but it was still a very good and like very compelling read. So I was able to give that to my mom so her and my sister can read it. I had the speech banquet, so the season is officially over, which means we have to start recruiting for next year, which is crazy because it feels so close yet so far away. My boyfriend came over for the weekend and we hung out. We played tennis on Saturday and that was so much fun. I played tennis in middle school, so like I still have my racket from middle school. My parents got me a very nice racket that I just never got rid of because I was like, it's super nice and tennis is like a lifelong sport and I always had fun with it. I just didn't like the sport aspect of it. So we went and got him a racket and then some tennis balls and we were just like volleying back and forth for a couple hours and that was super, super fun. I'm excited for us to do that again this weekend. It is currently Wednesday, April 24th, is it? I'm going to dinner with my high school best friend tonight and I'm very excited about that. I'm also almost done with this maxi skirt that I've been crocheting. I started this a couple weeks ago. I had bought 3 skeins of this. This is Red Heart Bitty stripes in, I believe, like sunset stripe. And so I'm done with the length of it, but a lot of skirts I see, it looks like they're like tiered in a way. And I was like, oh, well, if I do front posts and then just do like one row of like the treble crochets, you know, I think that will give the effect that I'm going for. So this is my last skein, and I do think that I have enough for me to just go around the 3 tiers that I made this, and then I'm really excited to wear it. I had to go to Sioux Falls Monday night into Tuesday. I got my retainers off finally. So I used to have like a little silver button there, and it really bothered my lips, and I had 2 behind, like these 2 teeth here, and it just was, I was like, I can't keep driving here. My teeth are in a spot where like I like how they look, I like my smile, like I gotta be done. Tomorrow the final season of You comes out, so I'll be going to another friend's house to watch that. So things have just been like wild. I have not had a second to breathe all week so far. I did finish a few other books. I finished Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier last Thursday. That book had me gooped and gagged. That was so good. I really liked it. Finished Sunrise on the Reaping, and then I also, the library loan for the audiobook for The House on Mongo Street came in, so I listened to that. That one was really short. That was like 3 hours. I gave that one 3.5 stars, I believe. I liked what it symbolized, and the writing was good, and I think that I will return to it, whether it be for, you know, a speech thing or just at a different time in my life, because it really explores the theme of like what is home and taking pride in your home and living in lower income areas and stuff. And then the last book I finished was one called Ripe, and that one I would definitely categorize as like hot girl sad, hot white woman sad, but it was super good. I really enjoyed it, and I found out that my high school best friend, I was on Goodreads, and because I was thinking, as I'm listening to this book, I'm like, wow, my friend would really like this book. And so then I went on Goodreads, I was like, what do other people think about this book? And she had put that she read it, and I was like, oh my god, I know her so well. And she gave it like 4 stars. I gave it 3.75, but she gave it 4, so I'm excited to kind of talk with her about that tonight, if she remembers it. She did read it like a year ago, so we'll see it. But I have been reading Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood this week, but I've been reading it, and I don't know what it is. I'm just like, it's okay. That's all it is it's just okay. And I'm having a tough time with romance books recently. I haven't really read a whole lot of romance this year. I would say, even though Pride and Prejudice is technically a classic, it's a romance book as well. Even though it's not, you know, modern day romance, I would still, you know, consider it a romance book. And then I've read Butcher and Blackbird. I read Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. And just like, none of them are hitting. I'm just like, I mean, last year I read a ton of romance. I think the year before I read a ton of romance. But I do definitely like go in waves when it comes to romance. I think I'm just in a bit of a literary era of my reading journey. We'll see what I keep reading. I am listening to, so I have the book for Not in Love, but I've been listening to it on Spotify, because I really thought that this was gonna be the one. I thought that I was gonna like keep this book and be like, yeah, this one's so good. And I'm just like, when this is done, I'm going to give it to someone or put it in a free little library, because I'm just not, it's just okay. It's just okay. Yeah, that's kind of where life has been the past week. It's really not too much going on. I really need to finish some projects, and I'm also planning on picking up some of my totes from my storage unit and bringing books to my storage unit, because I've been buying so many books recently and I have no room for them. So I'm going to put books that I have read but that I don't think I'm going to reread by the time I move out of this place. And that's like a whole other kind of life update video. I'm moving again, but I'm only moving to St. Paul. So if you know anything about Minnesota, it's like Minneapolis and then St. Paul is just across the Mississippi. But yeah, I'm moving in with my boyfriend, who it's a whole thing. It's good. It's not, it's crazy. I didn't think that you could be in a relationship where you don't have to be scared all the time of like breaking up, or that they're going to wander off with someone else, or that they're secretly lusting after every girl that they meet, or, you know, wants to sleep with your friends. Like, I mean, it's like, objectively, I knew that not everyone's relationship was like that, but it felt like every relationship that I had ever been in was like that. So I thought that that's what I deserved in some way. And now I'm in a relationship where I don't feel that way, and I'm not treated that way, and it's so nice. It's so nice to be treated kindly and to be working towards a goal with somebody, and to be with someone who's like, no, it's you. Like, you're what I want and the future that I see for myself. Like, you're in it and all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is really nice. So yeah, that's, I mean, it's to close out this vlog and a little bit of a life update. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thanks for sticking with me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to join our growing little community, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.